If a famous golfer wasn't interested in politics, a famous walker definitely was. President by accident, Harry Truman was out to win the office on his own. And some folks were saying he hadn't done too badly for a beginner. He laid down the law on that coal strike, didn't he? And the Marshall Plan jolted the Russians, all right. But still, there'd been a lot of bungling and government by crony. And didn't the Republicans sweep the last congressional elections with the slogan, "Had enough"? All the political experts were saying the country had had enough, and Harry didn't have a prayer. But he's from Missouri. You had to show him. The Republicans were happy to oblige. The sweet scent of victory was in the air at the 48th convention in Philadelphia, where confident party leaders gathered to name their man. Delegates had their choice of several GOP stalwarts, including Robert A. Taft of Ohio. The keynoter called Harry Truman a gone goose, and the opinion polls all predicted a smashing Republican victory. And everybody was sure that the next president of the United States was being picked right here, Governor Thomas Edmund Dewey of New York. Then the Democrats convened in Philadelphia, too, and newspapers reported, quote, an air of gloom and despondency. And the columnists were writing, quote, every seasoned Democratic leader is convinced that Harry Truman will suffer a historic defeat. The liberals were against him, and the Dixiecrats walked out on him. And the big city bosses thought the whole thing was hopeless. But it had to be Harry. Who else? So the convention went through the motions, and Harry Truman was nominated. The ticket was Truman and Alben Barkley, and Harry evidently didn't read the papers. He thought he was going to win. And one reporter called him, quote, Battling Harry, the demon necktie salesman. He's got more guts than a fiddle string factory. But Harry wasn't listening. He was off and rolling on a whistle-stop campaign that took him across 22,000 miles and through 270 speeches. Governor Dewey did read the papers, and they were all saying the same thing. He couldn't lose. Across the country, a Republican tide was rolling, according to the pollsters. And one shrewd analyst was predicting that Dewey would be in the White House, not for just 4 years, but 8 years. Harry poured it on with old-style grass, announced all Republicans back to, but not including Abraham Lincoln, and he never let him. The governor delivered dignified, high-minded speeches and never even mentioned his opponent's name. Across the country, the people came and listened, and what they were thinking, they kept to themselves. Political writers had no doubts. 50 of them were polled during the campaign, and they all picked Dewey. Mighty game little scrapper, people said. Too bad he doesn't have a chance. And the New York Times was saying, quote, Thomas E. Dewey's election as President of the United States is a foregone conclusion.